Morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you guys are watching this. We are back live building Let's Build Twitter. So it's been a minute since I've worked on this, since I had family and everything over. I've also been absolutely grinding out the tutorial that I'm working on. You guys are going to really enjoy that. So I've been putting in like insane hours in the tutorial. I'm probably going to end up having to take a break or something after I'm done working on it, because it's just been so much work. But hopefully, fingers crossed, I can start recording that this week and record a couple episodes of this week. And yeah, hopefully I don't miss any uploads. So hopefully Friday morning around this time, whenever I'm not live streaming, I can get a couple of these episodes recorded, because we got 26 steps here. That'll be like an hour or so. So I have about an hour and a half this morning. So where we left off last was we have this drop down for circle or for everyone, and we started this drop down. We need to get this drop down basically up and running, more or less. And what we have right now is we can get the button itself. And I was kind of looking through the code, trying to refresh myself because it's been a minute. Basically, what we need to do is we'll need to grab like an H2. This is what we're building here. So we'll need to grab like the H2. Can I make this smaller, please, computer? Apparently I can't. Okay, stuck. So I need to make this like H2 right here, and then I need to make this P tag, and then I need to make all of these different steps, the check mark and everything else. So I'm just gonna literally yoink this, and we'll style it and everything later. So this is, instead of saying this, let's just say feed post creator and reply restriction. Reply restriction, drop down title, and this will say who can reply, question mark. My computer is going absolutely crazy. I need to clean it, I think. So now if we come back in here and click on it, we can see who can reply. Obviously it's way too big. We're gonna yoink some styles and stuff probably, and we'll have another one, class name equal to feed dash post dash reply dash restriction, and then this will be dash drop down dash, I guess, subtitle. Not really a subtitle because it's a P tag, but it is what it is. Who can reply to the post? It looks like we need to make another one. Class name feed dash post dash reply dash restriction dash drop down dash subtitle, and this one will say, whoops, anyone mentioned, but whoops, and always reply. So now that is the text that we need. Now if we do that, it looks like garbage right now, but we'll fix it. And then basically what we need to do is more or less yoink this part where we have our check mark and this other stuff. And I should really probably make this its own component, but it is what it is. So now what we got is, so we need selection, and that'll be something that we have to set up. We can go ahead and import check from material UI. And how do I do this? It looks like it comes from here, and we need to make this handle change. So let's go ahead and say const selection and set selection equal to use state. I think this is a string, and this will start out as everyone. That's like the default. And then we also need to set up this handle change selection. Handle change selection. And I'm guessing this is going to take in an e react.mouse event on a, I think this is an HTML div element. I could be wrong. And let's set this up properly. There we go. Now, no errors. Now, obviously, this is not audience dropdown. This is going to be reply restriction dropdown. Reply dash restriction dropdown. Reply restriction dropdown. And honestly, this could probably, all of this could probably be something like this whole like drop down thing is probably something that we could have made into its own component and reused, because guess what? We're going to have to do it for the polls. We're going to do it for a bunch of other stuff. Although scheduling comes up as its own modal, I guess. So it is what it is. But let's see. So here we'll change this to reply restriction. Reply restriction dropdown, and again this will be reply restriction dropdown, because I think at the end of the day it's basically gonna, I think we're gonna end up duplicating some of this text, unfortunately. But click on this. Can't see our globe because it's we can't see the globe because it, what's the word? I can't think. Because it's white and the background's white, so I'll have to deal with that. Now we need another one for ID is fine, so we need another one for people you follow. Let's put it here. I think this is the right spot. So I don't know what I called this on the back end. So let's see if we can take a look at our like slices. Post slice. Okay, it's just follow. So that's what I'll name this one. Follow. And this one's gonna say will you follow. And so this one, we, instead of globe, we need a, and I might have just called it follow. If we go into our feed post creator utils, yeah, I just called it people you follow SVG. So I'll grab this, I'll throw it here, and I'll import it. Okay, will you follow SVG? That one's good to go. And then we need mention. I'm guessing I also just put this as mention in the slice. Let's see. Post slice. Everyone follow circle mention. Yep. The last one will be ID mention. This is a disaster. I don't know why this is so scuffed. Probably because I copy pasted it. Clean this up. This is super scuffed. So what's going on with this div? I think we're missing a div. Missing a div. Wow. Fix that up. Although it says we're not missing a div. What is going on with this? Because this div goes here. I don't know why this is so scuffed. But okay, whatever. Seems like everything lines up, so I'm just gonna go with it. Alright, so now we need one more div for mention. So we'll copy this, paste it in. So now this will be mention. I don't know why I used uppercase, but I did it on the other one, so it's gonna stay. And then this one, I'm guessing it's just mention SVG. Yep. And this one's gonna say only people you mention. Only people you mention. All right. So now, based on selection, we're not actually setting selection right now, so we can at least do that. So I'm gonna say set selection will be e dot target. It might have to be dot current target dot id. I think we didn't do two uppercase for this one, so we should at least be able to set target and start moving. We're missing one. And let's see, selection equal everyone. So this should be selection equal to follow. This one should be selection equal to mention. Okay. And I don't know where. Did I put this in the wrong? No, it's in the drop down. If I put this in the wrong area though. That's why everything's scuffed. This should go. Should be like this. This should be like this, and this should be here. There. Okay. There we go. We can reply. Everyone, anyone mentioned. Will you follow? Why is this out of order? It should be. Let's see here. Let's double check this actually. Never mind, that's fine. Anyone? No, it's good. Okay, so I don't know why only people you mention is the one that is active right now. Because currently everyone should be active, or the selection should be equal to everyone. So let's see. Mention. Follow everyone. And let's see here. It should be on everyone, so I don't know why. You know what? Maybe it was just glitched out or something. But you can see that you click on it. That's good. So now we actually need to also, I think, dispatch a update. And I don't know if it's update post. I think it's update post. If we come back into the other one that we did, the audience dropdown, we did something like this. On update handle change, we set selection, and then we need to dispatch reply restriction. So this is basically what we need to do here. We don't need to do the other one, I don't think, because I don't think that the other one affects it, basically. That should be fine and save. That should update the post. And let's see. I think that's all we need to do. Although this is moving around, so that's not great. Because on Twitter, it definitely does not move around. So I don't know how we're going to combat that. Oh, it's because it goes away immediately. So whenever we click on one of these, we need to say, how are we going to do this? We need to set active to false as soon as we handle this. So let's say set active false. As soon as we click on one, it goes away. Now, I still think that I want to try to center this on something else, because I think it should be... Oh wait, no, it does move with it, I think. Looking at it right now. Okay, nope. Twitter does it exactly how I do it. I'm not changing it. It does the exact same thing. Okay. So, I think that's good for this. Should be able to copy this. Paste it into our walkthrough. Have we put guy in here? Just made SVGs. Let's say 27. Update the feed post creator with the feed post creator for feed post by restriction drop down. And I've already technically done this, but it is what it is. It's a lot to paste in. Small area. Honestly, I'm not even gonna... What I'm gonna do is just this. Although, why do I have... I feel like this should be changed. Whatever. It is what it is. Now let's style this. 28. Style. Feed. Post. Reply. Restriction. Drop down. And this is probably going to be more or less the same as our other one. That's why I said this could probably be extracted and whatever, but so let's see what we need here. So on our CSS, we're gonna need a... I think we've already got this. If I had to guess. Yeah, we already have our button drop down, our hover, our disabled, and our modal. So we're gonna need, this is good, this is good. We're gonna need the title. We're gonna need the subtitle. We're gonna need, let's see, drop down choice. We're going to do probably a bit of work to get this to fit properly. Voice left. And then let's see. We'll need this one. It's just always going to be blue. So I'm just going to say drop down choice BG. Whoops. Drop down choice BG. Let's go ahead and rename these. So feed post background BG and feed post background BG, because it's always going to be the same color. It's always going to be blue. I don't want that to change. And then what else do we got? We have the text. I think that's it. I think that is everything that we need to style. So we're going to cheat a little bit. We're going to yoink this. And let's see. So we need the title. We should have something like here. Grab this. Save. And that should look a little bit better. Okay. We don't have a subtitle. So what we're going to do is going to come into Twitter. And I'm going to have to take a look by inspecting and see how big this is. This is font size 15. Color is, I don't know if we have this color or not, 536471. You probably have it somewhere. Color 536471. Like a gray color. Add margin of 0 on here just to reset everything. And then if we do want to change some stuff, we can. Font size is 15 pixels and font weight will be like 400 or something because it's pretty thin. Take a peek now. We definitely want the margin left, I guess, about 12 pixels. Really, this should be a padding, but I think the padding messed some stuff up. And the margin underneath this guy is a little bit big, so I'm going to turn this down to like 4. Then also add like a margin bottom on this guy of like 4 pixels because it's pretty small. If I could type. Like a margin bottom of around 4 pixels. And that might even be too much for this. We might want like 2 pixels for this one. I think 2 pixels might look better for this guy. Yeah, something like that. And honestly, this text looks small, but it is what it is. I think it's probably fine, I'd imagine. This text looks big, though. I think we're going to make this text a little bit smaller. Yeah, this text also says it's 15 instead of 20. So things are a little bit different here. And that looks really tiny now. We need to up the font weight. Font weight to like 800. 800 might be much for this. Yeah, probably like 600. And this still looks really small. So I'm going to bump it to like 18. Because it looks like it should be slightly bigger. Try 17. Let's do that. I mean, it's not technically the same exact as Twitter, but I think it looks better. So I'm taking an executive decision here. And like even this text looks pretty small. But I think we'll keep this text as is. If anything, maybe I'll bump it up to 16. I think 16 might look slightly better. Might be big, but I think it looks a little bit better. Cool. So now our drop-down choice. This one is going to be probably the exact same. Let's take a look at our choice now. Okay, so that's looking a little bit better. Still a little bit big because we have some weird stuff. I guess we can add a hover to this. I don't know if there's a hover or not. Let's see. Is there a hover? Yeah, there's a slight hover. So I'll add a hover. That's fine. Hover. And just a light background color. Not going to make much of a difference. Okay, so our choice left, we'll need a display flex. Alright. Our background will always be blue. And it's about to be the moment of truth to see how much work we need to put in to make this work. And we need our choice text. Our choice text, how big is it? 15. Okay, so that one looks about the same. So, moment of truth. It's actually pretty okay. We need to space them out a little bit more, probably. How does this look on actual Twitter? Same. Although, this needs a little bit spaced out, but it is what it is. So we need cursor pointer for sure on this. That might have been something I missed on the other one, I'm not sure. Oh, that's not good. Better. Okay, no, I didn't miss it. So yeah, this needs a little bit more space. So let's add a margin top to the choices. We already have a margin. We have padding top. Let's add a margin top to it. Maybe let's try 8 pixels to start, and then we can change as we go. So this one basically takes up the entire bottom part. We might need to even do more margin top, maybe 12 pixels. That's more like what Twitter does. So, it looks pretty good. Is there a way for us? Let's see here. Here's our modal. Can we do a what's this called? Dang it, what is this style called? Can't think of the style. Overflow, hidden. Not gonna hide this weird. Yes, it does. Let's go. The smartest man alive. No, just kidding. Cool. Looks pretty good. We could up the padding. Kind of make this have more space, but I think this looks pretty good. On that. On that. On this, you can't change it. Go back to everyone. And it looks pretty good. So there's that. Looks great. Now, a couple things I'm dreading. Trying to figure out images. I don't know what Twitter actually does when you post images. So if I say everyone, I say let's add image. So an image just pops up here. And I can click delete and it removes it. So I'm as if I grab multiple images. So let's say, I know you guys can't see this, but I'm just messing around here. So let's say we grab this image and we grab this image, we grab this image, grab this image, and grab this image. I think you can do 4. This makes them. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I hate you, Twitter. I absolutely hate you. Twitter can suck my balls for what they did to me. Okay, so I've been putting off doing the image editor for a long time, and I still want to put it off. But we'll figure it out, I guess. So let's, I guess. So it looks like the image goes to a max size, and it just kind of fills out the however big it is. So if I take a look at this, it looks like the max size of the image is like 500 by 500, around there, 510 by 510 ish. And how big is this guy? So we come into here, do this. Full length guy is 598, so that kind of makes sense. How wide is this? 520. Okay, so that makes sense. So I think what we need to do is we need to create a component called like post images. And from there, we need to figure out how many images are inside the post, up to 4. So then we also need to figure out how to only upload images of a certain size. And from there, after that, we need to figure out how many images were attached and go on from there. So let's do this. So let's copy our CSS here. So I'm going to grab all the stuff that changed, copy it, head over here, walk through and paste that. So now our floating modals are basically done. So for the time being, I'm not going to do image editing because I still haven't figured out fully how to make it work without being a broken piece of crap. Also, I don't know why stream playlist randomly breaks. But, so I guess let's do this. Let's figure out how to store images on the post service or on the post. Let's figure out how to store images on the post slice, and then we'll go from there. Once we get images in the post slice, if there's images in there, we can display them and do all of that stuff. So let's take it one step at a time. So we'll say 29. Get images stored in the post slice. So of course, the first thing that we'll need to do is go to our post slice, and we'll need like images, I guess. Current post images, and this will be some sort of array. I'm just gonna say any for now because I don't know what's gonna go on here. And this is just gonna be an empty array to start because I have no clue how this is gonna work. So there's that, and current post images, right? And then what we'll do is we'll get on Google and we'll say React upload, how to upload an image in ReactJS, Stack Overflow. So React TypeScript upload image, because we also need TypeScript, otherwise it's probably not going to work. Okay, that's cool enough. I don't know if they have enough ads on this. What am I looking at? How's it going? All right, so let's see here. I don't care about Bootstrap. I don't care about this. Okay, file upload. So this service will use Axios to send HTTP request. Yes, you only sent one comment, it looks like. For comments on what? I get a lot of comments on different things. Create the file interface with the URL and name. Selected files. Selected files, target.files as a file list. Create object URL. I don't know if I love that. Upload an image as a file. See. We only sent one comment, so... Well, I don't really like Angular, so that's why I'm not using Angular. And I wouldn't necessarily say Angular is any easier. Angular also has its challenges as well. See. I just want to see what the dang file type is. Doesn't say. See. Know how to do this part. That part's fine. I want to know the type for the file to store on our TypeScript. File upload type. Let's see. Yes, I'm making Twitter. I mean, it says designing the Twitter clone. So yes, I am building a web app. But yeah, I mean, Angular's okay, but it's just not my preference. Is there not a type? There's just an object URL for a preview. And so I guess we're just going to keep it as any, I guess, because I don't really want... The other option is like a blob, I guess. Interface file extends blob. So when you call useState without setting initial value, here you've used the generic file to tell useState what type to expect, but because you initialized blah blah blah, that's fine. Let's see. So it looks like we can create a form data type and append an image, the file that got selected, and the name. So I have like 100 some videos on this, but basically you can log in, register, create posts, and currently we are working on uploading images for the posts. So the first thing, I guess, is so I could make this instead of an any array. I don't think just file will work. It says file. Provides information about files and allows JavaScript in the web page to access. So I'll try this, I guess. It'll start out as an empty array. And as we add elements to it, let's add a reducer. We'll see if this works or not. So that's my primary concern, is getting the type correct, otherwise it's gonna complain. So what we'll do is we'll go to our reducers and we'll say update current post images, and state and action payload will be a list of files, and what we'll do is what I do wrong here, payload action, that should be fine. And what we'll say is like a couple years or over a year at this point. I just work on it on and off here and there. Let's see. So we'll say state is equal to, and I'll need to figure out why the heck this is complaining. Let's see. Payload action has any type. Missing. Should be fine. I broke this one. What's going on here? Updates. Current post images. We have current post images, yes. Date, action. Okay, so why are you complaining about my payload action? I don't know. I don't remember exactly when I started. It was a while back. It's not like the file array. No, it's just being implemented. It's unfortunately not public for everyone right now, just because it's a private project. There's options to view it, but it's not publicly accessible. Thank you, Chandler. I appreciate you. So all we'll do is we'll just go ahead and set the state. So we'll just say state is equal to ... state. Whoops. And we'll go ahead and say that our current post images will be equal to ... action payload. After finishing it, probably. I'm hoping to finish it. It's been a while since I started this, obviously, but I'm hoping to finish it soon, in the next couple months-ish, because I've got some other plans that I want to work on. So definitely going to try to push to get this done. I'll think about possibly, but also it might not be fair because some people paid for the repository basically, or paid to support the channel and get the repository. So I may or may not post it publicly. We'll see. So there's that. So now we should be able to dispatch an action to get to put the images in the slice. So let's go ahead and get the images. Images when the user clicks on the icon. So this part should be the easy part. All we've got to do, I mean, the thing is the code is all on the internet for free on YouTube. People have just got to be willing to go through and get the code that they want and watch through it. So that's why I'm kind of hesitant, especially whenever I made it like a channel reward for supporting the channel to get direct access. So that's why I'm hesitant about it. So let's see. So in our feed post creator, .tsx, whenever we click on the media SVG, we need a on click here. And this is going to become a disaster very quickly. Handle. I don't want to call it upload images. Because if I call it upload images, that's going to sound like I don't love that. So handle get images, I guess. And copy this and throw it in here. And what we'll do is we'll make a handle get images up here. Const handle get images. So we might want to start figuring out how to deal with this a little bit better. So this needs to be, we might need to wrap this, instead of a div, this might need to be an input. Although I don't know if we can wrap an input like this. And okay. And this will need to actually go onto this. Probably not going to rename it or anything. Just because I don't feel like it, basically. And this will be a type equal to file. And there should be a way to restrict this, but I'll deal with that later. So this will be, hopefully this doesn't break everything. Probably will. So now instead of this, that input for our creator icon. And did we break everything? Well, it's broken right now because our method is not done. React.change events. Would it be change event? Let's do a mouse event on an HTML input element. And we'll prevent defaults. So does the styling still work? Nope, because it's broken. Let's see, what did I break? Our input is a void element and must either have, cannot have children. Okay. The app is running right now. Well, it's broken currently, but the app is running currently. So, what will we do here? So, I guess we'll turn this back into a div. And we're gonna have to make a input here that basically takes up the entire space. Last name equal to p-post-creator-file upload, I guess. And we're gonna have to make this take up the whole space of this area. Make it like transparent because it's gonna break. It's gonna look horrible. Yeah. Clicking on it does nothing because I think probably because of the prevent default. I think we want it to do its default action. Yeah. So we're gonna want to basically make this so it takes up the whole space of this. We're gonna have to, I think here. We could just display none here. Although we don't want, I don't think we want to display none. I think if we displayed none, it wouldn't work. I think. Right? If we did display none, I think that it would disappear. I mean, obviously it's going to disappear. Yeah, you can't click on it now. Obviously, it's not what we want. We want to style it to... You might have to make a special icon or a special feed post creator icon bg dash like media, and this is going to scuff everything. which is fine. But let's just get the files into the... Let's just get the files into here first and deal with that. So how you can get back to Java? Just start coding. I would recommend looking into Spring Boot for sure. But if you want to get back into a language, just basically start coding again. Figure out some sort of a side project that, you know, interests you. I thought it'd be cool to build this. So let's see, HTML, get or set max file upload. And if you're rusty, set max number of files upload. Right, let's try that. If you're rusty, then I'll just start small, start building some console apps again and stuff like that, and kind of go from there. No, not using jQuery. Let's see, jQuery, and then or if you're not rusty, I would just redesign something or rebuild something. So I guess we could do a tuple, right? And set it to... could use a tuple here, I guess. Set it to 4. The only thing is, I'm not sure how we're going to allow them to only have 4. That's what's gonna mess with me. We can accept image multiple, that's fine. Let's set up this. We can set up all of these. So type file. This is gonna break everything, that's fine. So I don't really think we need the name, but it is what it is. We already have the type, which is file. We're going to accept images. And maybe we only want to accept GIF and PNG or whatever, but that's fine. And then multiple equal to true. Although it doesn't like that one. We have to do this. There we go. Okay, so basically what we could do, we just cut them off at 4. I'm curious to see what Twitter does. I'm gonna actually try to go onto Twitter right now. Let's see what happens if we try to select more than 4 images. So if we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Choose 1 GIF or up to 4 photos. So it lets you select them, and then it just says, okay, you can only have up to 4 or 1 GIF. So basically what we're gonna have to say is we're gonna have to check to see if the file is of type GIF. If it is, we're only allowed to have 1. And then let's look at max file size. Limit size of a file. And this one is just also doing the same thing. Which, I mean, our backend will reject it if it's too big. Okay, so I guess what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're just gonna go ahead and let them grab all, select as many as they want, and then we'll check the types of it, and then if there's more than one with the GIF, we'll say, hey, you can't do that, so on and so forth. So we'll say handle get images, and so let's go back in here. But let's look at file upload again, because I don't mess with file uploads that much. So we'll get our file list is e.target.files. And we'll deal with the styling later. And files does not exist on this. What type did they use? They did a change event, so let's try a change event, I guess. I didn't know if it was going to be a mouse event or a change event. I was just kind of swinging in the dark. And let's console.log our file list. Like, let's see what type of information we get whenever we upload a few files. What's your problem? So it should be on change. I appreciate you, Code. I haven't streamed much on Twitch. Obviously, as you can see, I'm streaming on YouTube. But I'm hoping that my hope is that eventually I'll be able to grow enough on YouTube and I can kind of move over to Twitch for some live streams and stuff. Obviously, I got a long ways to go before I hit that point, but you never know. So, let's see. So what we can do is we can try to go ahead and upload some images and see what the console prints out. Go to our console, click on our images. We'll just grab, let's grab one image for now. So, file list. It is of type file list, has a name, modified, and is that it? Size, type. Okay, so what we could do is we could check the types of the files and the length of the file list. So we could say is copy this type. So we can say is our const file list file list or null is not equal to this. File list is null is not assignable to. Can I say question mark? Or am I just going to do this? Or null, we can say if our file list exists. So if we have a file list, then we can console.log our file list, right? So now if we come back in here, we refresh this, we'll get rid of our file list. If we don't choose anything, it shouldn't print anything, but if we choose something, let's say we choose 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 files, right? And then, let's see. We might want to set up its own component for this so that we can. That actually works the way it's supposed to. What are the odds? Okay, so that's good. What we'll have to do is we'll have to go through and we can check the sizes of these, so that's good. So if one of these is too big, I forget what our max size is. We'll have to look at the max size, and I'm guessing the size is in. I'm guessing that's in kilobytes, but I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to go look at my files again. So we'll need to check the size of the list. So we'll say if file list dot length is greater than 4, Then this is console.log for now. We'll say too many files, right? And I don't know what we'll do. We'll have to do something. We'll have to set some sort of error. That's why I'm kind of thinking we'll make this its own component in the future. And then we'll also need to loop through this file list. So file list dot, you can't just loop through it. Well, it has a length, so there's gotta be a way to loop through it, right? For let file of file list. Nope, can't do that. File list can only be iterated through when using the down level iteration flag or with a dash target of ES5 or higher. So I can't loop through this at all. Or let I equal to 0. Maybe we won't use a file list. I is less than file list dot length I plus plus. Can we say file list? So item. Okay, it's just an index. So we can say like I. So we can say like let file equal to file list dot item I, right? And we can say if file. So we can say like if our file dot and we want type is equal to, and this is going to be like image slash GIF, right? And our file list dot length is greater than 1, then this is also an issue. Console.log, and this is going to be say like only one GIF and no other, only one GIF and no other images allowed. Something like that. Otherwise, then I guess what we'll do, and maybe we should have made this a... Here's how this is going to work for our post, but I'll deal with that whenever we have to deal with that. But I'm thinking maybe our post slice instead of... I'm thinking with our post slice, so we change this to a file list. That's what we already have. And this will be file list for null. Set this as null. And this is going to break the other thing, but we'll fix it real quick after this. So, got our post slice state, we got our initial state. Okay. And then we'll update this. This will just say, so this will be a file list. File list, and we'll say action.payload. So now we'll do that. I think, I don't know why Spotify has been so trash lately, but that should be good. I just realized we never returned the state, so it's not going to actually do anything. On console.log. This might not work though, because it's probably going to be behind. So we can try to console.log current state images, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be behind to return the state, otherwise it's not do anything. current state images. Technically, we should be able to also do videos, but we haven't gotten to that point yet. So now what we'd want to do is if and only if we get to this part, right? So we'll return early here. We will, thanks for the like, we'll return early here. So if any of these are false, no bueno. Otherwise, if we have a file list, then we'll dispatch an event. We'll dispatch update current post images, and we'll pass in the file list. So if we only have one GIF or we have less than 4 files, we will go ahead and dispatch that and set that up. So let's test this out. So if I come in here and I go into my downloads, I have a single GIF here and I broke it. Terrific. Non-serializable value was detected in action. Payload action, payload file list. So this isn't going to work because a file list is non-serializable. So that's cool. But on the other side, it didn't freak out. Well, I mean, it did freak out, but it worked kind of the way I expected it to. So now if I grab 2 images, if I grab an image and a GIF, it should say only 1 GIF allowed at the time. And I'll have to basically, I guess, reset this to deselect the items somehow. So I need to look out how to clear HTML, clear files from input. And we can use the reset method. So that's with jQuery. Set value property to empty or null. So if we add a ref to this, add a ref to this guy, go to image selector ref. Create this ref. This is going to be really hard to go back through and find all the stuff that we made changes to, but it's fine. Image selector ref equal to use ref. This will be an HTML input elements. Right. So there's that. And so we'll say, whenever we handle this, we'll say if file list and image selector ref dot current. Then if there's too many files, we'll say image selector ref dot current. And apparently you can set the value null. Let me guess. Oh, it's not a method. We have to say this and image selector ref dot current value. No, it just doesn't want to be called null because it has to be a string. Okay, so this is no bueno. We don't have it in a form. Create a new one, replace it. This does not work. You cannot set to null. You can set to an empty string. This one sets it to empty. I mean, we can try to set the value to an empty string. I'm not sure that's going to get the result that we want. could try it. But right now, there's nothing to choose. We grab 2 items. Yeah, I didn't do anything. Okay. Well, I didn't do anything because I need more than 4 items because I didn't put it on that. So let's see. Go back to my images. I'll grab 4 random images. 1, 2, 4, and 5. Okay, it did actually work. Cool. What are the odds? Okay, so that actually worked. So we'll do the same thing here. If we have too many files, we'll also do this. Otherwise, we can dispatch the file list. So now the issue is going to be, how do we deal with putting files into our how are we going to deal with putting files into here? Do we do it base 64 or what? So if we go into Postman, maybe I'm not going to be able to go into Postman. Guess I should have opened up Postman before I started. My computer doesn't want to work today. Let me try to reset my here. Why is Slack running? I haven't opened Slack in forever. Let's see. Where is... I'm not gonna be able to find it. Windows Explorer. I'm gonna restart Windows Explorer. It's glitching out on me. Really? I think I need to restart my computer. So whenever we send this, we send the actual images or the files themselves, right? So whenever we say post/media, media is a file. It's the entire file. But we can't write files, apparently, to Redux Slice. Redux Slice file image files. Store an image in Redux. Let's see. Okay. I don't know what a file reader is. They put it into a data URL. So what we might have to do is we might have to convert it into a just use a const image URL, blah blah blah. The thing that I'm worried about is sending this to the backend not working. We'll have to see what happens. This is just a text file. So what we could try instead is comment this for a second. I have to go through and make a list of strings. On our post slice, we might need to make this into a list of string. String array, changing this again. Start out as empty. Then, excuse me, this. And here we could say, because this is not serializable, we'll make this a string array. And we'll say, actually, I want to reset it, so we will just say action.payload. So let's try this. And what we'll do, then here, as long as everything is good, what we could say is, let's say const image URL list equal to a new list. So as long as we don't have more than 4 files, what we can say is we can go through each file and we have our file. So what we could do is we can come on here and we can say local image URL is equal to create window.create URL. We have our file. So we could, instead of saying file 0, we'll just say file. Except it does not like that, because file array is not assignable to parameter type blob media source. Cool. So the file list has files. What options do we have on file? File dot, we have array buffer last modified name slice stream slice text and size. So that's not gonna work. I'd love to know what this file reader is. Because here they grab the files from the target and then they say window.url.create object URL with the file. Like, what if I said e.target.files or I? Doesn't like it because it could possibly be null. Even though we already know file list is working. I love TypeScript sometimes. I mean, what we could do is add another one of these ugly things. It seems like the best bet is to ignore our file list at this point. Just check to see. I'm guessing there's probably a dot length on here. Yeah, it's the same exact thing. Like at this point, we're better off just like getting rid of this file list because I don't want to say it's useless to us, but what we can say is e.target.files which is kind of stupid that we have to do this. We can't just use the file list. But I guess what it is, whatever. And let's just console.log our local image URL in this instance, and we can kind of go back and deal with the other stuff later. So if we choose our files, let's just add one for now. Got a blob. Okay. Choose our files. Let's grab 2. Okay. Choose our files. Let's add 3. Okay. Choose our files. We should be able to add 4. Okay. Choose our files. If we try to add 5, it's going to say no bueno. You have too many files and reset everything. Cool. And if we try to grab a GIF, it should work. Let me grab a GIF that I know I have. If we grab a GIF, works fine. If we grab a GIF and an image, you're only allowed 1 GIF. Only 1 GIF allowed. It resets it. So now what we can do is we push those to our image list. Image URL list dot push, and we push our local image URL, and hopefully we can display this. I have no clue if this is going to work or not, so that's also going to be very fun. And then what we can do is after we do that, assuming everything worked fine, we didn't return early, we can dispatch our image URL list, which is a string list, string array. That way this doesn't get mad at us, and we can dispatch that. So let's get rid of this console.log. Already got rid of it. So now if we do console.log, it should be in here with all of the post images. Fingers crossed. Let's see. We grab some files. If we grab 1 file, we have 1 array. If we grab this, we have 1 image. We grab, go to my pictures. We grab like 4 images. 1, 2, 4. We have 4 files. All right. So that is good. I think that's probably going to end up being a good spot for us to stop. And then on Thursday, what we'll do is we'll go through and set up displaying the images and hiding this ugly choose file somehow. I'm not sure how we're going to manage to hide this massive icon. So I'll have to look up how to kind of style this guy. Basically, what I'll end up wanting to do is more or less make it so that this button is hidden, basically, and takes up the entire space of this div that it's in. And then whenever you click on it, it just works. We don't need this console.log anymore. We know that works. Save that. And let's see. So we already got this guy working. So let's grab the code from here. So what we did was we updated this div. Grab that div. We created a ref. Grab the ref. And then we created the function to handle this. Handle get images, which dispatches the images. We're gonna want to have some way of displaying the modal on the bottom if there's too many images. So we'd probably want some, we have like 5 minutes. Freaking, I don't know what's wrong with Spotify. We'd want some state called like const overloaded images and set overloaded images equal to use date boolean and false. And what we'll do is we'll start out by saying set overloaded images to false whenever we start uploading images. And then in this case, we'll set overloaded images to true if we have too many of them. And here again, if we have too many, we'll say image, not image selector, we'll say set overloaded images to true. And then what we'll do is, I guess, we'll probably set make some little like div or something, or a little component for this. And whenever this gets set to true, we'll have a use effect that runs a moment. We'll have like inside the use effect, we'll run a set interval or a set timeout, I guess, and then set it back to false. So I guess technically we didn't need the top bit. I'll get rid of this. And what we'll do, and I'm getting close to time here, but basically what I do is whenever this changes, so we'd say like overloaded images, right? And we'll say if overloaded images, so this is the case, then what we do is do something like if the images are overloaded, we'd like set timeout like so, and after, I don't know, like 5 seconds, we would set our overloaded images back to false. And no clue if that'll actually work or not, but basically what would happen here, copy this and put it here. Basically what would happen is whenever we set it to true down here at the bottom or something, although we'd have to do this, we'd have to figure out, we'd actually need to like dispatch something, I guess, and put it inside the feed page, but we'd want to create, I'm going to undo this. And we'll figure out what to do. Instead of doing this, we'll like dispatch something and go on from there. But I think that's going to be it for now. I think that we're at a pretty good stopping point for the time being. Then on Thursday, what we'll do is we'll go through and figure out how we're going to, I guess, display these images. Hopefully they're not gone whenever I try to grab them later on. We'll figure it out from there. So yeah, Thursday we'll figure out handling these images, and then if we can get the images handled and uploaded to a post, that'd be pretty cool. We're not going to deal with modifying the images or editing the images because that's a whole nother can of worms that I'm not ready to deal with right now. But after that, we'll figure out our emojis or GIFs probably. I have an idea for our notifications that I'll need to figure out. But yeah, so thank you all for stopping by. If you watch this later on, thanks for stopping by and watching this far. I'll see you guys in the next live stream on Thursday at 6 a.m. CST. Or you guys can watch it later on. But thank you all for stopping by. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you guys in the next one.